5 killed during Kenya anti-tax protests, NGOs say. At least 5 people were killed and dozens injured during protests against new tax measures in Kenya, according to human rights groups. The demonstrations, which took place on June 14, 2024, saw thousands take to the streets in major cities like Nairobi and Kisumu to voice their opposition to the government's proposed tax hikes. The protests, organized by a coalition of civil society groups and opposition parties, quickly turned violent as police clashed with demonstrators. Eyewitnesses reported scenes of chaos, with security forces firing tear gas and live ammunition to disperse the crowds. Several protesters were seen carrying makeshift weapons and throwing stones at police. In a statement, Amnesty International condemned the excessive use of force by Kenyan authorities, calling for an independent investigation into the deaths. The Kenya National Commission on Human Rights also expressed concern over the disproportionate response from police. The government, led by President William Ruto, has defended the tax measures as necessary to address the country's fiscal challenges and fund development projects. However, critics argue that the new taxes, which target items like fuel, mobile money transfers, and basic foodstuffs, will further burden low-income Kenyans already struggling with the high cost of living. The protests come amid a broader economic crisis in Kenya, with inflation reaching double digits and the shilling losing value against major currencies. The government has also faced criticism for its handling of the COVID-19 pandemic, which has exacerbated poverty and inequality in the country. As tensions remain high, civil society groups have vowed to continue their demonstrations until the government listens to their demands. The opposition has also called for a national dialogue to address the underlying issues driving the unrest. The international community has urged both sides to exercise restraint and engage in peaceful dialogue to resolve the crisis. The United States, a key ally of Kenya, has expressed concern over the violence and called for respect for human rights and the rule of law. As Kenya grapples with the aftermath of the protests, the government faces a critical test of its ability to navigate the country's economic and social challenges while upholding democratic freedoms and the rights of its citizens.